I jingle. Trying to say hi, but zippers. I jingle. Hi guys, welcome to Storybook Sunday. It is 2 minutes to 8 o'clock, so we'll give it a few minutes, and hopefully we'll have lots of people storming the chat room because I really would love this to spread. So, crossing fingers that we have lots and lots of people join us for tonight's storybook, which is Harold Snipperpot's Best Disaster Ever. I really feel like I want to read this with a British accent, but my British accent is terrible, so we won't do that to you. Be very rude. But Harold Snipperpot sounds very, very British to me. Even the person who created it, Beatrice Alemagna, I'm going to say Alemagna. Beatrice also sounds very European. She's actually from Italy. I did a little research on our author tonight, and she was originally born in Italy. So she is European. Harold Snipperpot. Imagine having the last name of Snipperpot. It sounds like something from Harry Potter. Hello, I'm Hermione Granger. This is my friend Harold Snipperpot. He's fantastic at potions. Just a few more minutes and we will begin the story for Storytime Sunday. And if you're joining us, please say hello. I would love to see who is in the room. It doesn't always show me the correct number of people. So if you say hello, that makes me feel a little bit better that I'm not just reading to myself. Just a few more minutes. I see 4 eyeballs in the room. Hi, Shireen. Dr. Seuss. Oh, Snipperpot? Yeah, that could be Dr. Snooze. Dr. Snooze? That's when you read it really late at night. It's Dr. Snooze. Snooches, sneeches. All right, friends and others who are just joining. Tonight's story is by Beatrice Alemagna, and it is called Harold Snipperpot's Best Disaster Ever. And if you're just joining us for the first time, know that I always take off the book cover to keep the book nice and clean after I'm done with it. So we will replace it, but this book, it's exactly like the book cover. And there's good old Harold right there. All right. And here we go. Big elephant booty. Harold Snipperpot's Best Disaster Ever by Beatrice Alemagna. Some days feel like complete disasters. You feel turned upside down, and it seems impossible that anything good could happen. Well, let me tell you the whole story from the beginning. It was 1 week before the disaster, and I was turning 7. More than anything, I, Harold Philip Snipperpot, wanted a real birthday party. I had never had one because my parents hated parties. If you want to know why, it's because they were very grumpy. They never hugged or laughed, and forget about a kiss goodnight, they barely even talked. So each year on my birthday, nothing happened. But this year, I felt extra sad. So sad that my parents got worried. So worried that they decided to do something about it. "We'll call Mrs. Ponzio," my mom said. Wonder who Mr. Ponzio is. Everyone in our neighborhood goes to Mr. Ponzio when there's problems. That's what his job is, to solve people's problems in very original ways. "I don't have any kids to send over, but I've got another idea," Mr. Ponzio explained. "Don't worry one bit, Mrs. Snipperpot. This party will be absolutely extraordinary." "But will it make our son happy?" "Yes, of course it will," he said. "Trust me, you will never forget it." So my parents agreed. Here's Mr. Ponzio. Wonder what all of those keys are for. On the day of the party, our house looked great, all decked out with ribbons, banners, and a rainbow of balloons. When the doorbell rang, I ran to answer it. And whoa, we couldn't believe what we saw. There were real animals, a line of them, winding all the way up the street to our front door. We were flabbergasted. That's a fun word. Look at all those animals. I see a lion, I see a crocodile, there's a tiger, there's a fox, and a monkey and a bird. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. The animals made their way into our house one by one. At first, everything was fine, and my parents almost seemed to be enjoying themselves. But before long, something changed. The animals began behaving like animals. Large mammals, I know now, are born decorators. They immediately moved the furniture around and opened and wrecked every drawer. A polar bear clawed the velvet sofa, while a small herd of sheep and pigs gobbled up the stuffing and ate each pillow. A giraffe reached up and chopped the crystals right off our Art Deco chandelier, a family heirloom, and that was when my father collapsed. They're not behaving very well, are they? Upstairs in my room, an elephant was taking a nap in my bed and, oh no, completely squashed my new electric racetrack. Where was Mr. Ponzio? This was a mess. Meanwhile, a medium-sized flock of birds flew into the kitchen and performed a symphony on my grandmother's china. A family of turtles and their reptile friends demolished my father's library and gnawed an entire shelf of his rare book collection. Oh, brother. What a mess. A hippo found her way into the bathroom, ran a tub, and was soaking. All her pond pals followed, overflowing the tub and flooding the floor. My poor mom, she was too afraid to look. Frolicking in my mother's closet were a seal, 3 monkeys, an armadillo, and others trying on her tulle skirts and her silk scarves and tearing them to shreds. A goat was wearing her shoes. And let me just point out that there are all of these animals that we all know. Doesn't this one look like a Niffler? I think there's a Harry Potter reference. Nifflers do like shiny things. Our house was destroyed, ruined, turned upside down. Worse yet, it was buried underneath a carpet of animal poo, every type, which really stank. The party was absolutely extraordinary, all right. Ew. Yuck. I feel like I need to hold my breath to read that page. Ugh. Blah. Just then, a huge alligator flashed 2 rows of sharp teeth at my parents, who, utterly terrified, jumped into an old steamer trunk. Oh no! The lid snapped shut and locked them inside. I was trying to saw the lid off free, then when out of nowhere... Oh no. Then out of nowhere, Mr. Ponzio appeared, waving a stick. At the sight of the stick, the elephant panicked and stampeded towards the door. I had just enough time to grab his ears, and the rest of the animals followed us. There I was, on an elephant, galloping through town, while my parents screamed like crazy from inside a steamer trunk on top of a rhino. What a disaster! But when I looked around, it all suddenly seemed funny. Crowds of people snapped photos in the streets, adding even more commotion and chaos. And I was there, at the front of the line, when I had the greatest idea. Hi, Anthony. I, Harold Philip Snipperpot, took charge and led the entire parade toward the fountain, where each animal stopped and took a sip of water, including the rhino, who dropped the steamer trunk, which fell to the ground and finally opened. My parents climbed out looking very relieved, and in front of everyone, I could barely believe this, gave each other a big kiss. A giant, passionate one, just like in a movie, and then they gave one to me. Seeing those kisses, the chameleons displayed their prettiest colors, which reflected in the water and lit up the entire park. Children from all over the neighborhood ran to see. Pretty chameleons. Some climbed the giraffe's neck, while others sat atop the alligator's back, and others gave the lion a new hairdo. As for me, my mom swept me up in the air, and I laughed and laughed. All of this, look at all what's happening, and even more. Since that day, my parents and I meow and growl. We whinny and moo. We open our mouths wide and roar with laughter. And if we have something important to say, we snort. How funny, said my mom, that the animals made us feel more human. Mr. Ponzio is our friend now. He fixed a lot of the broken stuff in my house, even my electric racetrack. So, do you see what I'm trying to say about disasters? When disasters strike, unbelievable things really can happen. And if you ask me, goodnight kisses and great new friends are definitely worth the mess. The end. So there you have it. Harold Snipperpot's Best Disaster Ever by Beatrice Alemagna. Hope you guys enjoyed that. It was a cute little romp. Do people say that? I just did, so I guess they do. Thank you guys for tuning in to this week's Storytime Sunday. Next week, we have two options. We'll see how things go. We might have a special guest reader, or we might read a book about an egg. Now you have to tune in, because how exciting are either one of those options? A special guest reader or a book about an egg? All right, guys, thank you. Hello to everybody I didn't get a chance to say hi to. I know that some of you joined while I was reading. Anthony, I hope you're well. Hi, Tom Osborne. Hi, Jabron. Hope you enjoyed the show. In the meantime, remember, you can always come back and see these episodes here on my Facebook page. Feel free to share them. Really would love to share all of these stories with even more people, especially those who are not able to make the Storytime Sundays live. And just as a little quick teaser, we've got some new content and a brand new friend joining us as well within the next couple of months. So I cannot wait. I cannot even begin to tell you how excited I am for what's to come. So stay tuned. So much fun is on the way. But in the meantime, you can always find me here Sunday nights, 8 o'clock Eastern Time for Storybook Sunday. Hi, Tim. Sorry you joined late. I am about to wrap up. And once I do, this will go live here, so you can start it from the beginning. And with that, I will say, see you real soon. Bye.